Yo, can I come back at y'all with another one real quick? Uh, I was just sitting here and I was thinking, I be sitting in my zone. I'm thinking, I was like, bro, a lot of people they'll be like, they already have their assumptions about you and your beliefs and stuff, right? So if they assume you to be a Christian, then they expect you to only quote things from the Bible. If they assume you to be a Muslim, they expect you only to be quoting things from the Book of Islam. If they assume you to be whatever they assume you to be, they only expect you to quote from that belief system. And I think this is where I'm gonna say that it really became part of stepping into the road of more esoteric teachings that, well, I didn't know that it was stepping into this vein, but just the study of, like, what else, like, when you read the Bible and you still have questions after you've read the whole book, and then they tell you anything outside of that book is, unholy or whatnot. But now these same people are coming back with the Apocrypha and all these lost books that are not in the Bible, and they're saying, oh well, um, we want, we're gonna bring this into the conversation now. We're gonna allow these books to be true and things like that. And these were all hidden. There's still more scrolls that they haven't even shared with the world yet. That's still, you know, untranslated and all that. But they want to tell you that only this book and only this and only that. So I look at it like, man, them are locks and chains, bruh. So I go and I learn that, like, in Islam, in the Quran, they actually have Jesus in there as a prophet. He's not the Messiah, but he's still a prophet. And I'm like, well, damn, these Christian people be getting mad at these people with the Qurans, but then when they look at the Jews, like, they be like, nah, they don't even acknowledge Jesus as, none of that. Like, nah, fuck that. It's the Old Testament only. So it's like, you know and then a lot of time that's where the discussion ends. They just put it like bam bam bam, them three religions always clashing. But I think that's just because of Western influence or Western media and stuff. Because then you go and you study the monks and the Buddhists and these other little tribal beliefs and the Native American beliefs and spirituality and voodoo, and you find certain things in all of these teachings that actually sync. you know so say if like when they were talking about the Bible is a song or whatnot. So say if each of these religions was a frequency, each way of thought is a frequency, and each frequency unlocks certain channels in the hierarchy. You see what I'm saying? And you got to get through these levels, just like and I guess I'll say in masonry, when you got 33 levels and then you got the other 3 degrees. So say you going through these, learning these degrees in these religions, and you gaining your degrees, you gaining knowledge, but then you hit that peak. Is you hit a peak because you're gonna have to jump in another religion or jump in another way of thought in order to find another frequency and vibe in that frequency and stuff, and keep working up the pyramid. But at the same time that you vibing through these frequencies, you have to find the harmonic resonance in all of these teachings, and have yourself attuned to it. I don't even know how to explain that simpler, but if you understood that, that's what you gotta, like, that's my opinion on what you have to do. Because these are simple, this is simply in my perspective anyway. So, you know what I'm saying? But boom. Okay. So now say you take yourself into, like, you go through all these religions, and then you go into the Gnostic teachings and stuff like that. And, you know, the last door is like the last door is that dragon. And it's that I guess they call it Satanism and stuff like that. But say that's the last door. Say that's the last key. You know what I'm saying? Or say that might be the nail in the coffin. I mean, who knows? You gotta go, if you willing to study these things, you gotta go through them yourself. But just realize where people are that practice certain things, and say your favorite celebrity is a Christian, but they just a celebrity. But your favorite network is owned by someone that's a Jewish person, and they don't believe in Jesus. But your favorite celebrity that's a character on the network is a Christian. But the person that owns it, that can be like, oh, you believe in Jesus? Okay, or, oh, you believe in Jesus? Okay, well, you can stay on air and tell them to believe in Jesus. But since I own you and I own all the other motherfuckers that believe in Jesus, y'all motherfuckers just keep prancing and keep preaching that message, because I don't need nobody else to know what I know, because I still need to own this shit. So, I don't know. I'm just thinking, you know what I'm saying? It's just strategies, different strategies is used differently in different methods. I mean, this is like people say we're not at war, but oppression is always forever. Someone's gonna be an oppressor and someone's gonna be oppressed as long as the world is. You see what I'm saying? As long as the world is. So just gotta choose wisely. I just be thinking like that sometimes. I don't know. I be gone. I be smoking some good ass weed, man. Gots to be. I was just thinking about it, and I was like, okay, so now if they do that with the religions, right? So say if people is just studying like just random bits of information that just float in space, like you could catch a cell phone transmission, a cellular conversation if you got the right antenna. You can catch a compute, someone sending data over Wi-Fi and shit like that. You can actually capture that data if you got the right antenna to capture it. So you gotta keep that in mind. And so say if someone is attached to the universe, say they attached to the Akashic records, and they can just withdraw information from a higher realm that's not manipulated by man. You know, what what proof would there be that such a person would exist? Like, what type of because people need proof. They don't just believe, they don't have faith. So what type of proof would that person need in order to prove that they were able to do that? Now, understanding that gift and knowing that it's not meant to be proven to man. It is. It just is. Every time man tries to go and prove the existence thereof, it fails in a sense. I don't know how to explain it, but that's why people still don't believe in God. They don't believe in this, they don't believe in that. Because every time man has gone to try to prove the existence, they have failed as men. Because you just have to be attuned, you know? You probably don't know, but you have to be attuned. And I feel that when you attune in certain levels with certain frequencies, like say your grandmother's like that stuff that people like your grandmother's prayers cover you and this, that, and the third, but grandma was Christian. But her faith in that frequency, in that harmonic field, was so strong, and for it to actually like you gotta think about it. All these are word spells. All these religious texts are word spells. This is why the ancients, like the like way back in the day ancestors, they ain't have no language. We ain't need to have a written text. We just threw the symbols up there, and if you know how to translate the symbols, then you understood the message. It was meant for you to decode. It wasn't meant for everyone. And because of the depth of reality that these teachings are, you know what I'm saying? Like the shit is real, bruh. But it's not meant to just really be exposed. Like, you actually gotta go and seek it for yourself, and then you will know. And that's like walking in faith like a motherfucker. But I'm not here to preach to nobody. I'm just saying. A lot of people will be like, well, that's evil shit. you know, and and a lot of those people, they'll be sitting back luxurious in their material realm, in their material reality. They'll be sitting back on the AC, sucking down a fucking Coke, or chugging down a beer, or, you know, whatever the fuck they're doing. They'll be doing that, you know, and they'll be like, oh, well, nah, that motherfucker there is a lie. But you feeding yourself poisons while you calling me a lie. You feeding yourself poisons while you calling other people that be on that truth, or be on that knowledge, that be on that, you know, just on another vibe. Y'all be calling it like fake, or wicked, or I don't know, just all different type of stuff, and it don't even really be that. And you got to realize who the main aggressors in a lot of these attacks. The people that practice certain things, they not really the attackers. They're being attacked. But the attackers are so many because people are afraid to fight on the cool, or they're afraid to stand up for their beliefs. They're afraid to just stand up because they'll get slaughtered. I mean, you see all the people hung in slavery days and all that, all that. It was a lot. But you have to understand, when you going up against a ruthless enemy, or someone that has ruthless tactics, then you it's a whole nother ball game. If you're a spiritual, like, true person, like, well, that's why Machiavelli wrote The Prince, you know. And it really teaches a nobleman how to I guess you would say, sustain their power in such times. It's crazy, but it really does coincide with today's world. Um, Putting together a lot of those ancient texts, or a lot of those old texts, even Sun Tzu, The Art of War, and a lot of his teachings. You know, it'll help you navigate this realm, because these are a lot of the tactics that the people that are in power had used in order to gain their will actually cement their power that they hold today. So, you know, something to think about, man. Where people learn knowledge, and where people gain certain insight, or, you know, because you could be looking at the painting, you could be looking at the maze wrong. Well, you could be looking at the maze trying to solve how to get through this bitch. But then you might have to look at it at a different angle, and then you gonna see the way through. Or it's just like the chess game, where, you know, you standing at your end, he standing at his end, and y'all playing the chess game, but you gain a different perspective in ways to move, if you should stand up and move around the board and look at the pieces from different angles. Same thing is with teaching, with knowledge and things like that. Yeah, we've been taught and we've been indoctrinated one certain way, but should we step outside of the box that was created for us to die in, then we can go ahead on and expand into the world that is just, you know, 360. It's out there for us. It's like a fucking portal. It's really like vortex. But that's gonna be another discussion one day, once I figure out how I'm gonna bring that into a platform like this. For right now, I just look at it like, man, people got different religion, or different modes of thought, and you could decide to try to discredit a person and try to tear them down in they views, or their ways of thinking, but you don't have the same experiences as them, you don't have the same environment as them, you don't have the same circumstances as them, you don't even have the same situations, or the same options in those different situations to make the same choices, or different choices. Like everybody has their own frequency, everybody has their own way in life, and you got to find your way. If your way is with the flock, then your way is with the flock. If your way is to stand on your own and go through things that few others go through,